What makes you the competent man to be someone's partner? Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of the Master Your Attraction Show. My name is Maurice and I'm your dating and life success coach, and I help men to get the life they desire. And first, we're going to focus on your dating life, your love life, because that's so important in life, right? Life is love. We all need love. So, how do you create your love? Well, today we're going to talk about two things that are very important in creating more attraction in your life. And of course, the one is the obvious one, right? Confidence. We hear it all the time. Confidence is what makes men attractive to women. That's one of the biggest traits men can have that women find attractive. But if we look at a greater scheme of things, it is actually not just confidence we're talking about. Of course, there are more traits that women find attractive. No doubt about that. But we need to take a look at something that is far more basic and foundational for creating attraction. And that is what we call competence. And there are not a lot of people talking about this subject as being, important for female attraction for guys. But it is actually the truth in so many levels, right? For example, if you need a plumber because your sink has gone haywire, right? You need someone competent to fix that. Right? You're not going to ask your 5-year-old kid to fix that because he's not competent to fix it. So you need someone who is competent. If you are looking for someone to work with you, you want something who is competent, right? And the same goes for your life partner. You want someone to be competent for you to be your life partner, right? So competence is really like the one thing everyone is looking for if you look at it like that. Right? And what does that mean? Well, that is what we're going to talk about specifically for in your dating life. What makes you the competent man to be someone's partner, right? There are several things we're going to dive in, and you'll discover that there are a lot of things that we already covered, right? Like confidence, like we said. Now, if you want to know more about confidence, you want to create more confidence in your life, it's really easy. I've got this free training in the description down below. Click on it, get that free training, fix that part of yourself, because that's so important as one of the traits that combined all your competence levels, right? So you can up your levels there right immediately. Well, just finish this video first and then go download that training, right? Watch it and be more confident, because that is a trait that female, women find attractive. So that makes a lot of sense. But confidence versus competence, this is very important to make the distinction for you to create the life that you desire. And of course, then the dating life you desire, the woman in your life to desire, or women, whatever your taste is. So, competence. There we go. Well, there are three things. And one thing to start off with is the attitude. Attitude is one ingredient that forms your competence. But it's also skills and it's knowledge, right? These three things will create competence as a whole, right? And we can dissect them. So let's start with the knowledge part. Knowledge is practical knowledge, things you know because you've experienced it or you've practiced it, right? Things that are practical. But there's also theoretical, things you've just learned, right? Just like this, right? This is theoretical knowledge that I'm teaching you. And a lot of videos are like this on whole YouTube are very much focused on the theoretical part of knowledge. So you can learn something, right? And then build that into the skill. Now, IQ is also part of that, right? I mean, you can't help your IQ, right? Well, there are some studies showing that there are actually things that will increase your IQ, like food and like the lifestyle, etc. But in general, your IQ is pretty much fixed, right? You can't grow from 80 to 130. That's like impossible. But so IQ is just a given fact that will, determine how much knowledge you can gain and how deep you can dive into certain subjects and how much that sticks within you. So it is part of the whole skill set that you need, right? Second is the skills that you have. It makes it's made up by the experience. How much quality you put into the things you do, right? The way you perform with your knowledge. Everything that you've learned as knowledge has now to come into action, into your skills. It's something you've ingrained inside of you, right? It's not something that you have to think about anymore. It becomes habitual. It becomes something that is from outside of you, doing it the way you want to do it, right? So it's about language, right? The way we learn language and the skill you have in the language is the matter of how much you are owning that skill and that knowledge, right? So they come hand in hand. And of course, the application of that, knowledge that you have. So that kind of like made sense, right? And then lastly, but not least, the attitude. And that's, I think, the biggest one, and the one that is not too much attention on. Not enough, I think. And yes, on schools, we do get some of these traits with us, right? If you talk to teachers, they will tell you that they will work on things like the curiosity of the kids and the discipline of making the homework and doing all the things that they need to do. But in general, there's too much subconscious focus on that, right? There's no one that teaches you how to make things happen. There's no one that teaches you how to be eager, right? It just kind of like has to be inside of you. Dating, same thing, right? Attraction. We don't learn these things on some school. No, you just have it or you don't have it, right? Well, that's not true. You can learn that stuff. It's a skill. It's knowledge and skill, and you need a certain attitude to apply it. So if we are talking about the dating skill, the attraction competence, right? You need the attitude of making things happen. You need to start doing things. Just do it, right? The Nike slogan. You need to start making action, create things, which needs discipline, because it's not always going to be easy. And when things are not easy, you need not only motivation to do it, but you also need the discipline to do it, that you know that you're going to do it, no matter what. Because you have a certain goal, because you know how to set goals. You are eager to create something in that new situation. You want to get out of your comfort zone. You want to learn something that is not in your current state of mind, right? You want to explore. You want to be curious. And in dating, it's especially important to be curious about the other one, the EQ level, right? That is something you can train. And for most people, that is, right? You can train your emotional quotient, right? So how are you able to connect to others? How are you able to be interested in others and be sympathetic with others and listen to them instead of only talking from yourself and your own perspective? The moment that you start listening to others, even if they don't, agree with what your idea of the world is, you learn something, right? You learn from others the moment you stop talking, and you are creating this connection, being interested in the other one. So those are things that you need in your attitude. And one of the things in that attitude is your self-esteem, is your self-confidence, is the self-love, the way you look at yourself and how you see yourself in your world, and not only your world, but then also portraying it outside of that world, right? If you are not confident about showing up as who you are, you're never gonna be finding the one that you really want, right? If you are only wanting to be nice and get away from any form of confrontation or the fear of being rejected or anything like that, you're not showing up as who you really are, right? And all these traits, all these fears and all these self-limiting beliefs are not part of you. They're all projected to you. And that's an important lesson to learn. Sabotaging beliefs, right? The limiting beliefs we have that we think about ourselves, like I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not whatever enough, that is not in alignment with who you really are. It's just a thought pattern that you've been repeating from yourself to yourself, from others to yourself, starting believing that it is true, but it's not true because it's holding you back. And the moment that something is holding you back, it's not part of who you really are. So you should be confident about who you are. And that is all what confidence is about, right? Confidence is about knowing who you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and a whole lot of more. And like I said, there's all of this in the free training. So click on the link below to learn about how to create that self-confidence. But it is so important that you know that these are aspects of your attitude, how you view the world and how you enter the world, right? And if you combine all that, you have the three areas: attitude, skills, and knowledge, that creates the right competence. And people want to have competence with the right attitude. If you don't have the right attitude, there is no competence, right? So it is all combined together. You have the attitude to learn the skills, to broaden the skills, to have the experience, to know the knowledge, learn the knowledge and all that, and create it again like this whole thing, this masterpiece of competence, right? And again, like we said, the moment you take a look at this as competence, and part of that competence is the way you are looking at yourself, your self-confidence, that is where the magic starts, right? So the moment you build that confidence level, you actually start creating the right attitude. And the reason why I'm lifting out attitude or confidence into this part of the attitude part is because it is so foundational to everything. You can be curious, but if you're not confident, no one's gonna know, right? You're only gonna read books somewhere in the corner of the room, right? Or watch some videos on YouTube in your room behind your computer. So confidence is you being able to step outside in the world and be out there, right? Be the action taker, be the risk taker, be the one that takes control over his life, and that being in alignment with who he is. So that is why self-confidence is very important, and that is attractive. But like I said, we are looking for, and again, this is this is what combined, right? So we have to make sure that you are learning all these things and implementing these things. But the self-confidence, that's the biggest one, right? That is something that will get there. Because the moment you do that, if you are creating the competence, that is what people are looking for. That is what women look for. They don't look for someone who isn't competent for them. And you can be confident, but still be an asshole, or have no idea how to have any form of emotional connection with her, the bad boy, right? Then you're not competent. Just as you're not competent if you're not confident enough to even talk to a girl, right? So women are not attracted to people who are confident. They're not attracted to people who are having humor or the way they look. They are looking for the right type that is competent for them, right? Just as you are. You're not looking for a woman that is not competent for you, right? That has traits, has values, has an attitude or skills or knowledge that is not aligned with what you're looking for. And the same goes for you for that woman, right? So you have to start building on who you are as the reason, as you being you, the inner source of you, right? Who are you? What is your true self? How can you be authentic? And that creates the foundation of your competence. But that means that you need to learn skills, that you have to have the knowledge. If you have knowledge about how communication works, how body language works, you make it more active as using tools to create a form of attraction. Attraction is a skill. It's part of the skill part there, right? But being a good husband is also part of the skill. But it also is the attitude. Being a good boyfriend is an attitude part. Being curious and, understanding the love languages that we have. The way that she responds to you and you respond to her, and how you connect together a world where you both find the love, give the love, receive the love, and create the relationship of your dreams, right? And that is a path you create to build that skill and have the attitude and have the knowledge. So every relationship that you have, or every date you have, every encounter you have with a woman is part of that knowledge. It's part of the knowledge that you've learned what is aligned with you and who you are. And some people need 2 years for this. Some people need 10 years for this. Some people may need 30 years before they really know and they find the right type of woman, but that means that you and her has to align on both of your competence levels. That is what attraction is. That is what a good relationship is. That is what true love means. And it means that it has to work with each other, right? Doesn't mean you have to be the same. I think there are a lot of personal traits that you can use to make it not even the same, but a little bit opposite, so you can learn and be stronger together, right? If you're chaotic and someone is more ordered, then you can help each other create something that's more balanced, right? So we need that balance in our life. Balance is a big part of life. It's this duality that we have in the universe, that everything in nature has a certain feel of balance. So the same goes for relationships, but it has to come from a place where you are competent to realize this, to know this. And the moment you learn this and you are competent to do this, that is the moment you are taking control over your life. And that goes for every aspect. It goes for your career. It goes how well you are with your money. Are you short of money, or are you abundant with money? Are you short with women? Are you abundant with women? Are you short in your pleasure in working life, right? The 1/3 of your life you're spent on working. Is that something that is fulfilling for you? Is it your competence? Is it what you love doing, right? Does it fit with you? Is it your true self, your authentic self that is being there, that shows up every single day, right? So this goes for everything, guys. It's not only the love life. I mean, we focus today or in this channel, we focus on so much on the love life, but it goes for everything, right? And if you learn this and you applied this and you've done this work, right? And if it's not something you can do yourself, I mean, shoot me a message, right? I do one-on-one coaching in a small part of people, so there's often room for people to join the program, and we work on this one-on-one, so you make it happen and you implement this in your life. And the moment you start implementing this in your life for one area, you're going to see that it's also going to be applicable to other areas in your life. It's just a filling interview style, like, what do I need for this to be competent? Right? So it's a simple tool that anyone can use to create the love life or the life that you desire, right? I hope this makes sense. And again, confidence is such a big part of that, because it is the ability for you to show up as who you really are. I hope that makes sense. And again, take the free course down below. I want you to have this because it's so freaking important that everyone is confident enough to show himself, to show up in the world who you are and what you're capable of. Right? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Let me know what you think, what your experiences are. And of course, give us a like and subscribe if you like this type of content, so you'll get a notification after you've watched this for the next time, whenever I'm putting it out there. Probably somewhere on Thursday, I guess, or in the weekends, kind of like playing around with that. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.